Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Banging music. Hey, we're back. Welcome everyone once again to Phoenix, right? I don't think we streamed at all last week. I don't think we streamed like at all last week.
It was a bad week.
It was a bad week.
If you want to, but you don't have to.
No, I'm not gonna. Needless to say, I had shit going on last week, and I did not have the energy. But yeah, so we're back, and I have been playing the fuck out of some Killer 7. God damn, what an amazing game.
That game is like, there's so many moments where I got a big giggle out of it, but the thing is that it's so like, what's the word? I feel like if I was, like, it would probably be good for a stream, bad for a video, but great for clips.
It would be good
because when it's a stream, someone's like right there and like watching it, and like they can comment on how, like, what's going on, how weird it is, and like you can answer more questions whenever it's like quieter. But as a video, you don't like necessarily get that, so it wouldn't be very good. But then as like clips, it's just perfect because like Killer 7 just had these moments where
it had some great moments.
Yeah, I'd just be like, what? Why? Why does it work that way?
With the way that mask walks downstairs. Hey, Jenny's here. What's up, Jenny?
Jenny. I don't know if I can. I can't in good faith read that, but.
I don't know what that means, but it looks like a word that I probably shouldn't say.
Suffice to say, she's excited to meet the clown girl, which I don't think we encountered her when we first played, because I don't.
Oh, I think I just got what that word means. Yeah, I definitely can't say that.
She's in the first like, game.
I don't think she is either.
Also, this is like a weird like nitpick, but when I looked up the clown girl, it's like English people pronounce it Gale Tornado, but like it's written when it's written out like in English letters per se, it's like it's like Gairu Tornado, Tornado or whatever. Like it's written out like it would be written out in like katakana or whatever. But the thing that messes with me is that like, well, if your name is literal, if your name is River Song, or Gale Tornado, or I don't know, Twilight Sparkle, then like I feel like it shouldn't be written out like phonetically, or written out half phonetically in English. I feel like when you localize it, it should just be those words. It should just be Gale Tornado. Or if you want to be clever, make it like Gail, like Gail Simone. That'd be kind of funny, because then it would be like Gale, like the lady name, and then Tornado.
Ha! Nice. But no, going back to Killer 7, you were saying it would be good for a stream. I agree, but only kind of. It would be good for a stream on a second playthrough, because what I've noticed about Killer 7 is that figuring out what to do can get super frustrating. Like, sometimes you don't know how to take down some enemy. I don't know why. I feel like I'm just dumb, because I feel like I struggle way more than I should with figuring out what to do in that game.
I mean, to be fair, there was one enemy that kept killing you, and you figured out you're supposed to shoot it in the head, which makes sense for any other game, right?
Right.
In this particular game, you've run into like a zillion enemies that when you shoot them in the head, like just cranium pops off, and they're like, haha, I'm still gonna get you. Like, it's like Dead Space, where they've already taught you that you shouldn't bother shooting the head. So like. Like, they didn't even give him, like, a glowing...
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also the fact that I couldn't figure out how to scan for the enemies, because they're invisible. You have to scan them before you can hit them, which I wasn't doing. I would see the invisible thing coming at me, and I would just shoot at it, which goes back to me just being kind of dumb and taking way too long to figure shit out, because the game tells me to do that, and I just immediately forget about it.
Check.
Which is why I would only be comfortable streaming that game on like a second playthrough, so that I'm not just constantly making a jackass out of myself for no reason.
I think I'm a little quiet. Hold on.
Are you?
Hold on.
We gotta do a sound test.
Let me move my mic. How about here?
I can hear you just fine. How do you sound on the stream?
Alright, wait. You gotta turn that off, that on. Oh, and Jenny, can you listen and just help us here, because it's a lot easier for someone in the audience to listen in all the parts. Because for me to hear our own stream, I have to turn the other sounds off.
It's like a whole process.
I have to constantly go back and forth, and it's very frustrating. So if I sound a little quiet or echoey or something, please let me know. So yeah, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We were on Turnabout Sisters, I believe.
Yeah.
And I just realized that the upside of having a mic that goes on your desk as opposed to your headset, Lujack.
Yeah.
Is that I can do something like this. Look, I'm Lujack with a Bluetooth headset. Yeah, so I was just walking down the street, right? And I see this guy. And he starts talking. You just walk away from your mic.
I have a Bluetooth headset, but like it's connected to a USB that plugs into the computer. So if I wander too far away from the USB, my voice just disappears.
It has such a weak signal.
It's so weird.
It is such a weak signal that it just gets quieter. It's like if you were just shouting at your microphone from across the room. It's goofy. I'm so glad that we're back playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I love this game. I love reading the characters.
It's so good. I love the music, love the characters. Let's fucking get to it.
The trick is remembering what voice I used. I need to get back in the habit of on Phoenix Wright nights. I need to skim through the episode.
Yeah.
Remember what voice I gave to various characters.
Yeah.
Some of them feel obvious, but I don't know. The trick is getting them just right. Also, my judge will vary in age. Usually he starts out old and he just gets younger as I get more tired of being old. I can't sound this old the whole time.
You tend to voice most of the characters. I end up voicing characters that I jump to because I have a voice that I just want for them. That's why when I was voicing the first lawyer, he was like, "Yes, Your Honor." I was like, "Yes, I need to make him sound this way."
That was a work of art right there.
I return from the ether.
Mr. Payne, are you okay? Do you need to? It seems that you're in a great amount of distress.
I'm always in distress, Your Honor. It's fine.
I'm not supposed to exist on the material plane.
The more time I spend away from the ether, the more my body starts to decompose.
Yeah, I love the lore that we've added to this game. That Mr. Payne, not only is he a one-off character, but he's also he's like a creature that's been summoned from another realm, and he just doesn't. He's like a Mr. Meeseeks, where he's not actually supposed to exist. He's just here because he has to be.
Existence is pain. As a wise man once said,
Pain, Esquire, attorney at law.
As a wise roadhog once said, life is pain, so is death. Yeah, I play Overwatch, what of it?
The
biggest twist is that he's a gamer.
All right, Mr. Wright. You were amazing in there. The trick with Maya is that I need to make sure that she sounds young enough that like it makes her voice makes sense when whenever Mia is like in a like flashback or whatever.
Right.
Because I don't want to use the same voice.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's Smiley. Really?
Yeah, well, I clicked the screen and it got all small. I think I might be your newest fan.
Oh, I was just doing my job, you know.
Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. I think he's a vampire.
Yeah, pretty sure he's a vampire. Huh?
Oh, also on Discord, you're using the app. You always use the app for streaming, right?
Yeah, always.
Give it a right click and set it to 15 frames instead of 30. Because for fans, that's because for fancier games, I like more frames. But for games like this, it's better that I can like read the text.
Fair enough. Yeah. 15 FPS, you said?
Yeah.
Alright.
For those at home, it'll look exactly the same from your perspective because OBS is streaming from the app itself, whereas he is screen sharing. That way I can see it at the same time.
Yep.
We got a whole system here.
We got a whole system that we use.
Jenny says, which vampire clan though? I forget the name, but it's definitely the one that like the fancy clan, the clan that like they can't just drink anyone's blood. They need like certain like people with like influence or power or charisma, whatever. I feel like in a Castlevania setting, he would be like somehow related to Godbrand, but like the polar opposite. So you say Castlevania, and I'm just imagining like I'm just imagining Edgeworth's like sprites, but he's like holding the glass and he does like his little finger wag and his like shrug and he's like, "What is a man, Mr. Wright?" Well, I just of lies. I like to think of him being related to Godbrand and having to put up with his bullshit, so I like to have like, I imagine these scenes where they're interacting with each other and he's just like, I'm Godbrand, I'm a barbarian! And Edgeworth just, like, attacks his insecurities all the time because he's annoying to make him stop talking. Oh, wow. He's just like, Godbrand, you ever think maybe you're a piece of shit or something? I didn't know this about Castlevania lore. I didn't know there were other, like, vampires. I thought it was like Dracula and like Dracula Spawn. Well, I watched the anime. I haven't actually played any of the games yet, though I have a couple of them on an emulator. And I keep... Here's the thing. I haven't seen the anime. I've seen clips of it, and my brain somehow it just like refuses to believe that the anime is real for some reason. I struggled with that as well for a while. Yes, I did get that. I got it with that exact anime exactly. I had that exact same struggle. The reason why I ended up... It looks really good, but it looks too good, where you're like, oh, this looks really nice. This is like a series of shorts, right? No? Yeah. It's a fan project? No. It's well, clearly this is a tech demo. No, it's an actual cartoon. Yeah, an actual anime series. It must not be very well written. No, people like it. Well, then why don't I hear about it? Well, because it's released in like a bundle. Everyone binge watches it and then like talks about it for 2 minutes and then like waits another few months. Well, yeah, the reason I ended up watching it is because of YouTube. Is because of a YouTube video actually. Because I think it was what was it? One glorious scene or one villainous scene, one dramatic scene, some kind of scene, and it was the one. I saw YouTube. I saw that YouTube. Yeah, and it was Legit. What? We got a new commenter in here. Not Stevenson. Stevenson. Not ND Stevenson. It's Dracula spelled backwards. You mean Alucard? Yeah. Alucard. Yeah, but no, I struggle with it, especially
because of the added layer of it being based on a video game series, and every time something based on a video comes out, I always feel like I should go and experience the game to have some kind of background knowledge for it, which is why I didn't watch the Castlevania anime for so long. But you do not need to play any of the games to enjoy this anime series, because it is just an amazing series on its own right. Like, it's so good.
But if it's any... I haven't seen the anime, but if it's built like the game, wouldn't it be like you have this like what's his name? Was it Richter or whatever? You have like this like huge beefy JoJo looking guy like walking through the castle, and then there's just lines and lines of like various mobs slowly walking towards him, and he has to do like front flips over them and hit them with the very tip of the whip to do maximum damage.
But yeah, the reason I ended
does that mean that the Castlevania anime is the first video game like show or movie, screenplay, anything? Like, it's the first good one. Right?
Have there been good video game animes before this?
Because I don't think there are any.
I mean, I think there are some decent ones,
but I'm talking about like, shows based on.
I feel like there have been some decent ones, but I don't feel like there have been any that have really gotten quite the immediate kind of classic status that Castlevania got. I can't think of any.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, what's the word? I feel like the funny thing is, like, there's so much room for video game shows, but I think they have a bad habit of, well, I mean, there's not a lot of, I'm not aware of that many of them, but I've noticed that, like, they tend to focus, I think they focus too much on characters that, like, had their whole, like, and complete arc through a game or multiple games. Like, I think a Last of Us show would be interesting, even if me in particular wouldn't be that interested in it. I think that it's a concept that deserves to be explored more, which is why when it was like, oh yeah, we got an actor already confirmed for Joel, and I was like, but we know Joel's story, like, beginning to end.
Yeah. Okay, hang on, dude. Before we move on, I keep trying to tell you why I started watching the anime, and you keep not letting me.
Sorry.
Before you go on to a completely different game, and we stop playing the game we're supposed to be playing, I just wanted to say that, like, the thing that got me to watch to finally check out the anime was the YouTube video talking about the scene where Alucard eventually I don't know if that's a spoiler, but, like, spoilers, Dracula dies, like, fucking every game. Yeah, happens in the anime too. Surprise, surprise.
That makes sense.
But
I mean,
it goes
to Castlevania.
Yeah, it goes to the scene. Yeah, it is a Castlevania. Fucking Dracula gets killed.
It's like
that's
a Metroidvania,
you know what.
But it's set in a castle.
Yeah.
that's a microwave society
it's a Metroidvania game about vampires.
We'll start the video. We gotta climb at the same time.
Oh fuck, what was I saying? But yeah, it was the scene, they talked about the scene where Alucard and Dracula were facing off against each other, and they were in Alucard's room, and Dracula has this moment where, like, he realizes what he's doing and has a full breakdown. And, it was Dracula. Like, the fight leads to Alucard's bedroom.
Wait, this is blood?
Yeah! Fucking, what was that, Revenant? Was that Revenant? Is that an Apex reference?
Which Revenant?
The one from Apex.
With Leo DiCaprio? The
I was thinking the Apex one where he, like, looks in the mirror and sees the blood and he's like, wait a minute, I'm a robot.
Yeah. wait, is this blood?
But yeah, no.
I hope it's not Chris's blood.
God. No, but, they end up in Alucard's room, and Dracula, like, I guess, notices his old bed, and just kind of looks around the room and realizes, like, what he's doing. And he has a full mental breakdown where he's like, he sees a picture of his wife, and just starts crying, like, I am murdering our child, and that's horrible, and now I just want to die. And...
You know,
that was the scene that like got me to check out the series, and it was very good, and I highly recommend the show.
This would be very bad, but also very bad and dumb, but also kind of like really gimmicky, and I would still want to see it.
What?
Which is like, if we have to have Joel, even though like we saw the birth of his character to his death, like I'm thinking like, what if they just have him as like part of a flashback, but they give him like a whole like John Wick style like assaults on the climactic ending, The Last of Us 1, like his assault on the hospital, but it's like way too like they make him way too cool.
No, I'm just waiting. Like, I'm waiting for the show. I'm waiting for the show to get past the first part and go to the second part, and for them to like come up with some bullshit excuse to not let Abby kill Joel and to tell some completely different story because they don't want to piss off all the people who hated the second game.
Well, yeah. Well, see, Abby shows up, and of course, like Joel being a survivor is like, oh man, I don't like these groups of people approaching me, and I was like, hey, Joel guy, don't freak out. I'm gonna hop over there and tell you my life story. Make some s'mores. And like she sits down, she opens her backpack and she's got like a stack of these like books about like dealing with grief.
Dude, that's the big twist.
These changed my life.
Look, man,
you little town.
And your kid
that had like a rainbow sidewalk, and there was a section on self-help, and I was like, I should probably read these before the Seraphite, before they get mold on them or the Seraphites burn them.
Look, man, you and your kid need to read these books. They will probably help you. Maybe maybe let that weird homophobe read them too. Maybe it'll help him get over his own insecurities. I don't know what his problem is, but these books can only help.
This is like the Noble Bright version. Not Noble Bright. What would it be Grim Bright or Noble? Yeah, Noble Dark. Like a Noble Dark interpretation where it's just Abby with the what's that bus that delivers books? Is it 6-Light Horses or whatever?
I do not know.
Yeah, she's just got the library bookmobile. Yeah, she's just got like a bookmobile, except it's just like a horse-drawn carriage, and she's just going across the countryside, just like delivering like useful like self-help books.
I would watch that if the twist was that Abby like got help through these books and just went around helping other people with them. I would fucking watch that show.
That's the that's like the Noble Bright version. That's like your satisfied, like your Steven Universe style ending where it's like, hey, look, I educated everyone. Now it's better.
Now people have learned how to stop fighting each other.
But yeah, I would expect they really have to get some good fight scenes or something to have Joel around, unless he's part of like a backstory, and maybe we'll see Ellie going across Nevada and narrowly avoiding presumably a hecaton Shires of zombies. That's my theory. That there's just like entire like pillars of just like living flesh like zombies in Las Vegas that have just formed entire like hive thingies.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
Spooky shit. Anyway, we're supposed to be playing a game.
Back to the game. That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips. It was spooky, scary. It sent shivers down. It sent shivers up my spine.
He's like a spooky, scary vampire. If you say so.
Sidetrack about Castlevania.
Yeah, we went off on a tangent there. Sorry about that, everyone.
So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now?
Can I go home now?
Yeah, because this was like the tail end of this, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think so. Not yet. Man, I wanted to go play Killer 7. God damn it! How long do I have to be here?
Rude. Blue Jack, that's I gotta put that on our the unwritten rules, except now it'll be like the written rules of streaming. Never put down. Never diss the game that you were currently playing.
Oh no, that was Maya. I was talking for Maya. Maya wants to go home and play Killer 7. That's why she's like, "Can I go home?" And Phoenix is like, "No, god damn it, I was gonna go play games."
A game that just came out this year.
No, I'm not dissing on this game. I fucking love this game. I'll probably replay it after we're done streaming it just for fun. I did that with Brothers. I got it on Steam for sale and then played it with the controller, and it turns out it was much better.
That makes sense. Man, I feel goofy because
I was playing it on Epic before because it was free.
So I know if I could figure out the crank thing, and I feel like I didn't need to do that. I had way too much to prove.
Yeah.
I figured that I would play more of it, like between our streams, but I never did.
Dude, I played it on Steam. I got it on Steam because it was on sale for like $2. Because the reason why I wasn't using a controller before is because it was on Epic, because it was free, and Epic doesn't have control support, and I haven't figured out how to integrate it into my Steam to fucking make it have controller support yet, so I just didn't have that option. But I ended up getting it on Steam for like $2 and replayed it with a controller while listening to the We Hate Movies podcast. And I just spent like 3.5 hours playing that entire game while listening to that podcast, and it was great.
Isn't there also a podcast called like I Love Films or something?
I don't know, probably. I only know about this podcast because it was talked about.
A joke from System Mastery.
Yeah, no, that's why I ended up watching them, because they ended up talking about them, and I like looked for them because I was getting
movie reviewers.
Yeah, I was getting towards the end.
But we love I Love Films.
I was getting towards the end of Movie Mastery, and they ended up talking about We Hate Movies, and I was like, oh fuck, I need more film podcasts for when I get to the end of this, because eventually I'm going to get to the end of this podcast, and I'm going to need another one to listen to.
You gotta load one up.
Yeah, load one up, so I found them and I added them.
Like preparing my podcasts, like buying like one of those huge bags of rice, or like, this will last me for a while, but when it starts to get low, I gotta have another staple food ready.
Yeah, you gotta go and scavenge again.
I'm gonna read some dialogue and then you can tell me what you learned about movies. Oh, I see.
But I got a great lead in today's trial.
Yeah, because the first like act of the trial is like making sure that like that your person is not guilty, right? But the other like acts, the second and third acts, I guess, are making sure that the guilty person is actually guilty. Like that, it's basically you just turn it into a prosecution.
Yeah.
a lead? How did you mishear that? I read it in text.
Look, man, I've only read it in books.
I choose to believe that that Deadpool doesn't actually like speak 9 languages. It's just that he can read the text bubbles.
You know, that makes sense.
I would love to see that in like a movie or comic or something. Those in the comment section, let us know if that's real.
What if Deadpool had like a totally Austin Powers moment, but like the text was actually in that language, so you wouldn't actually be able to read it like in English? But because Deadpool can just read all the text, he'd just be like, hey, I can read what that says, and that isn't nice.
You mean the I mean, it's not like thieves can't or whatever, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was like all these like it was a code language where it was like a series of like nonsensical anecdotes.
Yeah.
That would tell you like that like is how you communicate with other agents.
Yeah.
They had something like that in was it Ocean's 14? And it was a very deflating scene though, because there was a guy who like spoke entirely in code, but like the thing is, it felt like he didn't like speak in code. He spoke in like veiled metaphor, where there wasn't an actual code that you can decipher. You had to sort of figure it out. And so this guy keeps like prodding one of the characters who doesn't know how to speak in code, and he's like, "Oh well, clearly, if you don't have a spoon, then drink your grease." Or, I mean, that's not the phrase, but he just like said something that made sense to him,
right?
And his like partner looks at him and is like, "That was very rude of you." And I was like, "How could you say it's rude? It's not a code, it's metaphors. If you say you don't got a spoon and drink your grease or whatever, you have to interpret that. The guy has to go out of his way to be like, oh, that's an insult to my mom. Like, bro, you, my brother in Christ, you made the language."
That man with Miss May, he's the key.
Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway?
I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention
She's just
center
got a
now.
pocket full of Lucky Charms, like...
Heart! Stars! Horseshoes! Clovers and balloons! She's like throwing them at the cops as they're trying to arrest her.
No, okay, I went a completely different direction. I was saying, like, she's in a jail cell and she, like, bribes a guard with just a handful of loose Lucky Charms.
Just loose Lucky Charms that are in her pocket? I was thinking she just attacks people with them.
Was it loose leaf Lucky Charms?
Loose leaf Lucky Charms. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed.
I went to a detention center as a kid. I got so good. It's where I learned how to go to detention. The teacher said I was the best at it after that. I made that up. Yes, sir.
I'm going to find out more about this man.
And who do you... And you think he was the one who...
Maybe so.
Sis.
Don't worry, I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise.
I'm counting on you. Jenny says there's all marshmallows.
Marshmallows? What about marshmallows? That's for a full...
because we were talking about Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah. All marshmallows.
What about Lucky Charms instead of like, oops all marshmallows, it's like oops all oats or whatever, like it's...
Oh my god, it's like the anti-Lucky Charms.
Yeah, it would be called like Charmless or something.
Oh man, why?
Lucky Charms Muggle Edition. Someone give me Warner Bros. Give me the rights to Harry Potter. I'll make it happen.
Asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. May testimony.
Meow?
It just says meow. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. To be continued.
Right, that's another thing is that... technically while waiting on... Sorry, that all the... candidates or suspects, whatever, are in jail. Not to be confused with prison. They're all in jail. Awaiting trial.
Yeah.
But how can we try April, May if it's September?
September 7, 3:11 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room.
All right, this is a little nutty, but bear with me. What if you know how usually whenever there's a scene at whenever there's a scene taking place at a detention center, it's always like at the tail end of the like visiting time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long visiting time is, but I always presume that it isn't like, you know, like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, like the length of like that scene, you know?
Right.
Which I just figured that no, they're waiting in line or whatever, or it's, you know, it's to be more dramatic. You have to end the scene with it being end of visiting hours. But what if you had like a whole visiting like hour, like or 45 minutes or whatever, and it's just that like hold on, and it's just in the style of The Man from Earth, if you've seen that. Basically, it's just like two characters talking, but like you just have an actor who can really like just like paint a picture when they're like just describing like their story. And so even though it's just two characters talking, like they actually use the full 45 minutes and like weave a whole yarn.
That's pretty neat.
Folks at home are probably like, why would you do that? Like that's like you're telling instead of showing. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a storytelling within the story. I think is an underappreciated thing, and it's also nice because it puts more focus on your writing, acting, and directing than your like set pieces and effects. Which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was the voice of it? Well, hello. I didn't expect anyone to visit me in such a dank place such as this.
The dankest of places.
Anytime I read dank, it's just like, oh yeah, it must be smell like weed.
Yeah,
it's really quite moving. Not.
You
Jesus. Stinking lawyer. I hope you die.
Well, that's just rude.
I hope you die in a fire.
Hope you die.
Shot in the heart.
I hope you get assassinated by some weird hitman with superpowers.
Didn't expire. I was going for a living tombstone kind of.
Oh, I was going
what were
for
you
her.
Going with?
I was going for her getting assassinated by the Killer 7 because I can't stop thinking about Killer 7.
My favorite like I hope you die like phrase was probably in Oblivion in the Shivering Isles where this one person will just go like, I hope you trip and fall on a sword.
That's a
like,
good
why
one.
Would the sword be facing upward?
Yeah, it seems like an intentional safety hazard. Have you
Jenny
read that?
wants a mango lassie. I keep forgetting what a lassie, like the dog, but without the e at the end. I think it's like a type of smoothie. How did I do this voice again? Have you come to laugh? Yes, laugh at the fallen Miss May.
Ha 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 ha! No one bought your bullshit. I mean, they did, but then we made them stop with my smart lawyer brain.
If I recall, I mean, not if I recall correctly, but I feel like we've got some leverage here though, because like, I'd be like, hey, I know that you're probably not like the big boss here. I don't know. That's just the vibe I was getting that you were supposed to be like a plant or whatever. So like you probably get like a plea deal. We can set something up. That way, like, you know, you can go to a life of not crime, and we can get the actual big bad.
Yeah, you can like go into witness protection and live out the Michael De Santa life, hopefully without all the family drama, though.
Well, yeah, she'll change her name to Alice November or something.
November, June.
Man, I was, as soon as that word came out of my lips, I was like, that's got to be like someone's porn name, right? Yeah. Just like slapping like a name and then a month.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like it.
It's like one of those like those old like name yourself challenges from like Facebook.
Yeah.
I read the line.
Oh, dude, remember Mask's gong? Going back to Killer 7 real quick, I wanted to point out how Mask walks downstairs. When he walks downstairs, he does the Gangnam style. He just fucking Gangnam styles down the stairs like with his two shotguns.
for those at home who are watching the stream right now and presumably wouldn't want to, open up a tab or whatever.
Yeah.
He like when he walks downstairs, he does this little like foot shuffle where he takes one stair at a time.
Yeah.
That's like sort of tilted one shoulder forward, and then he's got like his arms. Because he carries like these shotguns, these break open shotguns in either hand.
And he crosses
and he
them.
crosses his arms over each other, and it's very much like Gangnam Style.
He's very much just Gangnam Style hopping down the stairs, like.
which is odd on so many levels. But like, what's funny is that the dance Gangnam Style is more unnatural as like a human movement than like the mask going downstairs, because like the mask, his hands are full and he's carrying like weights, he's carrying 2 heavy guns, and so he's like managing that. Like it's actually makes more sense that, I mean, this game came out like, I'm pretty sure before Gangnam Style, so like I feel like the mask really did it first, and then Psy was like,
oh hey, I could make a dance out of this.
It on this game, but it would be really funny if he did.
It'd be really funny if he played this game years ago and was like, I could make a dance out of this.
It's like, wait a minute, yeah, that's kind of like a horse motion. What if I took like the 2 reins in hand, and then I switched it up every bar with like a lasso kind of motion, and then that's a dance, right?
Dude, we should go to
the reins of the horse and you got the lasso. It's a good combo.
We should go to like a video game convention cosplaying as Mask and just do Gangnam Style everywhere.
Man. I feel like if I went to a convention in a costume, it would have to be like a little something, like it would have to be like a little twist on something that exists, or just something that's like so dumb that it makes you laugh. Like it's basically like, instead of like dressing up for a con, I'm wearing a costume that you would wear at like a costume party that was, video game themed. So I'd go to a con and they'd be like, what are you? And I'm like, I'm the opening door loading screen from the Resident Evil games. Squeaky.
Man, I would probably just do something simple. Like, I would probably just get whatever jacket Spike from Cowboy Bebop wears and be like, I'm just Spike with long hair, don't worry about it.
Yellow shirt and a blue pantsuit.
Yeah. No, not really.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be easy.
Yeah. Easiest cosplay.
I forgot what my like go-to for like the easiest one. Oh, right. I already have the easiest one. It's Jake from State Farm.
Oh yeah.
Button collar red shirt and lanyard, which that's the only hard part. Lanyard, presumably you borrow it from a friend who's got a job that has a lanyard, except you put in your own ID thing that just says Jake Rollerson or whatever.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? Man, he's come a long way from sitting in an office getting yelled at by paranoid housewives.
I don't know about that. I didn't know Jake from State Farm lore.
Oh, I don't know any lore either. I just know that, like, usually he seems to be outside and more excited and not getting yelled at by paranoid housewives in his advertisements.
I mean, to be fair though, like the setup is so loaded, right? Like
it really is.
What the real story here is, like, who's calling up their insurance agency at like 2 a.m. going, "Hey, can I get a better deal? Ooh, I'd like that." I'm just imagining that like it's like a long distance call, so like it's like working normal like banking hours, over at wherever Jake is. Like Jake wakes up and he goes to the office and he's working at like daytime in like Japan or something, and he gets a call all the way from like Texas, and this guy's like, it's 2 a.m, I need a policy change, like, give me something cheap.
I need roadside assistance.
What I'm saying is that the guy calling insurance at State Farm is the end results of a DirecTV commercial.
Yep.
It's like, don't call your insurance agency at 2 a.m. Get DirecTV.
He saw a commercial and was like, oh, I should do that.
You get unsatisfied. When you get unsatisfied, you start looking for problems. And when you start looking for problems, you call your insurance agency at 2 a.m. looking for a better deal.
And when
call your insurance agency at 2 a.m. looking for a better deal.
Have a Snickers. It'll keep you from doing that. You'll be yourself.
Oh, this is perfect combo. The one Snickers ad that didn't really reach me was the one with Robin.
Dude, we need to get back to reading this game.
Sorry, it was like Robin Williams, because I was like, man, if not eating a Snickers makes me Robin Williams, I'm just not gonna eat a Snickers. I get to be Robin Williams.
Just be Robin Williams all the time. No, not really. There's something I wanted to ask.
What are those?
Have you ever played Killer 7?
Unfortunately, hold on. Unfortunately, there is nothing I want to be asked. Have you done enough questioning, you spiky head?
April, have you eaten? Have you had a Snickers? Can I get a Snickers in here, officer?
Oh man, see, now I'm just imagining, now, editor, put in a montage of all the people you prosecute in these games, but it's like them when they're berserk, and then like a little Snickers sort of trips up next to their face. And then it makes like a little crunch sound, and it fades to black, and then you hear a crunch, and then it like fades out from black, and the Snickers has like a bite out of it, and they're using like their regular Sprite when they're happy.
It's that scene, flashback to that scene where she gets all crazy at the courtroom, and like her hair goes crazy, and also her tits just kind of, her bra breaks for no reason.
Oh no!
Because that happened. May, eat a Snickers. Why? Because your tits go crazy when you're hungry.
You had a calamity with your memories. Yeah.
Hakuna, you're taught us. Here we go again.
Hakuna, you're taught.
Here we go.
Rest your breast.
Rest.
You read the line. Hit the button.
Sorry. Please, you're scaring the security guard. That security guard looks super terrified.
So, what is it you wish to ask me then?
For starters, how did you get to be so totally whacked?
Yeah.
That man. About the man who stayed with you in your hotel room. Can you tell me about him? Mercy.
The bad news is...
Come on.
The bad news is I have depression. The good news is I have manic depression. No way, Jose.
Is that his name?
Jose Wright.
Is his name Jose? Maybe if I had something to get her to talk. The wiretap. Why did you place a wiretap on Mia's phone?
Aw, when you say it like that, it sounds so cold, so criminal.
It is criminal. It's a felony. I learned that from Drake and Josh. It's a funny felony, but it's still a felony.
It's a fun. True. I mean, it's a, what is it? It's a non-violent crime, but it's definitely a. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first. I didn't know that bugging people's rooms was like a crime when I watched that episode. So I was like, wait, really?
Yeah,
you could go to jail?
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, the line between like fun prank and like felony crime is really just is as how close you are to the person that you're putting spy equipment
It really is.
To our fans at home, please don't put spy equipment in people's rooms.
Please don't. That's
Unless
weird.
it's your own room and you're trying to like see if something's like being spooky.
Right. Some kind of paranormal activity bullshit.
Yeah, or if, like someone's staring in your window late at night.
Yeah.
I have a special technology that prevents that. It's blinds. Just put the blinds down.
I keep my shade up a little bit because the light from the window helps me wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I feel like I would love like automatic blinds that just like open when the sun's up.
That'd be cool.
Solar-powered blinds.
Make it happen. Tapping people's phones is a crime, Miss May.
Oh, and I suppose you learned that in lawyer school? Hmm?
Yeah, that's why I'm a lawyer.
Creep.
You... I hate you so much.
It's my job to know when things are legal and not.
This woman is impossible to talk to. Your attitude. Say, why are you so angry? I mean...
Why you have to be mad?
Why you have to be mad? Why problem make when no problem have you don't want to make?
You know what's... I'm pretty sure that those are two entirely separate guys, but, like, they give off the same energy.
It's the same kind of vibe.
Like, I don't know what their accent is. I don't know where they're from. I don't even know if their accents are that... or how different they are. But it's the same energy of just, like... I explaining a simple truth about the world.
Yeah.
I think the first the why you have to be mad was like a hockey. I think he was in like hockey or something, and I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense because like if you were like into hockey but you weren't into like the contact sport part of hockey, then that's exactly how you probably feel. You just someone would be like, yeah, I noticed there was some violence in the court, and you'd be like, yeah, why you have to be mad?
Why you have to be mad? Just hit the stupid puck.
Hit the thing into the thing, and don't hurt me.
Yeah, please don't hit me with the puck. That would hurt very much.
Our fans at home, please be good sportsmanships.
And don't go hitting people with hockey pucks.
Yeah, these things probably really hurt.
Every time I think of hockey pucks, I think of Toy Story when he's like, "Hey, look, I'm Picasso. What are you looking at, you hockey puck?"
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
and it's like it is a hockey puck.
It's an actual hockey puck. You uncultured swine!
Okay, that one was great though because one, it's a good joke that the kids might not even get. But,
yeah, I didn't get it, but I thought it was the funniest thing.
Yeah, well, the joke is that like Picasso wasn't a representational painter. He was like a more of a impression. What's the word?
Impressionist?
More like a more impressionist or surrealist or something. Like it was non-representational art, as in he would make something that looks kind of like a person, but you know it's got the two eyes on the same side of the head. It's very sort of pseudo-representational. And so yeah, he had all his features scrambled, and he's like, "Look, I'm Picasso." Solid joke, but then the knockout, the like second punch,
is him going, "I don't get it," and him just yelling.
He goes, "I don't get it," and he goes, "You uncultured swine."
You uncultured swine, because he's a pig, and then he walks away. Third punch. Third punch is, "What are you looking at, you hockey puck?"
Okay, yeah, and then that one. I mean, I consider the first two to be the real core to it, but yeah, I feel like my favorite.
It brings it together, in my opinion.
I do love when there's a joke that's in a pair, where it's like there's a joke and then one that just like follows up, where it's on top of that like just sends it out of the park. All right, Phoenix.
Yep, it's pretty great. I mean, you don't look like a bad person. Well, okay, now you look like a bad person. You didn't.
Does it. Bottom-feeding, scum-sucking lawyer.
See, now you look like a bad person. But bottom, I am a top, madam. Excuse you.
That was a good line from Shrek, where Donkey's singing "The Sun Will Come Out," but like he passes out in the middle of the line of like "Bet your bottom dollar."
Bet your bottom dollar. Bet my bottom.
So like, bet your bottom. And he passes out, and Shrek's like, "Bet your bottom."
Bet my bottom. Donkey, are you all right? I can't tell. Does she have a thing against lawyers or just against me? You know, it's a hard question, man.
Use our options, unless we can. No. Maybe.
Present.
Present. I would, her, not a resume. What the heck?
Her testimony?
Her, testimony, yeah.
Hey, check this shit out. Present? Can I not present?
No.
There we go.
Hey, guess what? Okay, I don't trust. Actually, I, really hate your guts. So get lost, because, well, I'm not cooperating.
Thanks, I noticed.
I feel like that was a generic response.
Yeah. Oh no.
Please.
What if
Something.
floor plans? What if? Hey, check out this wiretap. Ah, fuck off.
Oh no.
Shut up.
Who do we gotta visit? Who do we gotta talk to? Glass shards, of course.
Glass shards! Hey, check out these glass shards! Yeah, no,
If only
okay.
I could remember what was in that magic book about how to cast the incantation with the glass shards.
Fuck, man. Alright, I don't think we can do anything right now. Oh, her thing right here is a heart. I just noticed that. That's neat.
Or what thing is a heart?
This
the buttons?
thing right here, what the mouse is on. I don't know what this is, but
I don't see the cursor on the Discord.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
her button thing.
yeah, her button thing is a heart. That's neat. Okay, I guess let's go to Gatewater Hotel. September 7th,
man.
Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Oh my god, where'd you come from?
Oh yeah, were you doing this customization?
I think was I? Or was it? I don't remember. I can.
I think it was mainly me, but I felt like it was one that you'd be able to do.
I could do that. I could do this
right.
voice.
I added I was like all announcery, but then I added I had to add a little bit of British.
Yeah, a little bit of British.
Quite the performance today, if I do say so myself.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for putting you on the spot like that.
No, not at all, sir. Your efforts today can only help the Gatewaters rep, as they say.
I don't trust you, butler boy. Huh? Rap?
Yes, our reputation will swell as the hotel where the I forgot about this.
I forgot about this whole subplot. He wants to
I thought
fucking.
the twist was like, oh, we there was a murder across there, but we caught him and then we
Yeah,
it
he
was
wants
great
to-
and nothing bad happened in
he
the
wants-
hotel, but instead.
He wants to be that
I
weird,
was-
spooky hotel that's like, yes, we had murders in this place.
I was literally about to make the joke. It's like, yes, our reputation for looking out the window and discovering crimes.
He wants to turn this place into some Bates Hotel
See, we
bullshit.
never installed DirecTV, and so when people stay at our hotel, they just look out the window. When you look out the window, you see things you shouldn't see. And when you see things you shouldn't see, you attend your own funeral as a man named Phil Shifley.
What the fuck?
Don't attend your own funeral as a man named Phil Shifley.
Don't attend your own funerals. Listen, look, to our audience at home, don't attend your own funerals as a man
As a
named
man-
Phil whatever.
Phil Shifley?
Phil Shifley.
I memorized that because the last time we did the joke, I had to look it up. I had to know what the whole bit was. Yes, our reputation will swell as the hotel where our reputation will swell as the hotel where the murderer used a wiretap.
2 parts of his hair are a different color from the rest. He's got highlights.
Yeah,
That's neat.
which is like I feel like he's just anime enough to get away with that, you know? Like I
Yeah.
look at this guy and I think there's no way this guy would do anything outside of like his his general like professionalism or whatever.
Right.
Which means that he must exist in a job or a world where you can have highlights and work here. Which is pretty cool, but I'm reading into it.
I don't think this dude ever gets a name. I think he's just a bellboy.
He's it's short for Belmont boycott.
Belmont Boyum. Belmont. It's short for Belmont Boy. I'm the
Boyardee.
lesser known relative of Trev. Boyer. But Boyer and Trevor.
We can charge a we can charge a premium for this room, of course. It will be great for business, sir.
Whoa, listen, Belmont, dude. Miss May hasn't been charged with murder.
I too will become famous. Oh, he's just rolling, doing his own gears right now.
Yeah.
The bellboy who brought the murderer iced coffee.
Yeah, okay, what the fuck is your story gonna look like? Make a novel out of that. I fucking dare you.
I mean, it feels like it's not enough for a novel. Like, that's one scene.
Yeah.
He's not entangled with the plot.
Now, he's just one dude that is there for one scene, and that's it. Why do I feel like
if he had some stakes, if he would get in trouble, if the murder was caught, or if he gets in trouble if the wrong person is caught or whatever, then he has to get involved, and that's what reels him in. That's what makes him entangled in plot.
If he was involved with the
That's how I do it.
If he was involved with April's trouble, he could show up and make it double.
You know what's wild? Here's just a random thought. I basically forgot and re-remembered this. Like, he was there were two people in the hotel, right? And we still know it's like a super slow burn because they haven't even mentioned it. We only like figured out from one thing, and I don't think it shows up until like the third act of this trial. But like, the thing is, the bellboy looks unnecessarily like suspicious in this plot because sure, he's like, at some point he's like, oh yes, there were two people, but I was told not to mention it by lawyer or by Miles or whatever, right? So like, that was a setup from Miles, but like, Miles isn't entangled with the overarching plot. Miles is like just doing way too much info hiding. My thought process is like, okay, well, if the cat's out of the bag, if he's already spilled the beans that there's a second person, I feel like he as like a citizen should bring that up. You know,
yeah.
Like you're talking to him and he's like, you'd think that he would be like, oh, well, the murderer was either Miss May or the other guy who was in here.
Right.
Because we don't see the size of this hotel, but he mentions that he was the one who checked them in.
Yeah.
So he knows that there was a second person.
Yeah. Why do I feel like we're both stuck in the same bad dream?
So, you are honored guests. Please let me know if there's anything I can bring you. Except for anything in the mini fridge that costs extra.
Yes, could you bring me a bit of evidence? Because that's what I'm here to look
Could you
for.
maybe, I don't know, could you maybe talk about... You know, I just realized that, like, if this guy would, like... I don't know, like, he skipped his like caffeinated tea or whatever, because if this guy had just even offhandedly mentioned the man with May more often, we could have skipped like the May subplot, and May would have been like, oh yeah, there's this other guy, and you could have gone directly to the mystery fellow and been like, you, what were you doing here on this night? And what's your connection with April May?
Right.
Like, it's Bellboy's. It's kind of Bellboy's fault. He's like the secret, accidental antagonist. You know? He's really really Peter Quilling up my Infinity War here.
Dude, that's such a good reference. He is Peter Quilling up my Infinity War.
That's in your list of, like, you know, don't rain on my parade. Don't Star-Lord my Infinity War.
Don't Star-Lord my Infinity War, bro. Shallow cut.
Oh. I say it's a shallow cut because, you know, it was one of the biggest selling movies of all time or whatever. Yeah. So clearly, all y'all at home know what it is. Editor, put in what it is. For those who don't know. Those in the comments on YouTube, just write it in for for the 5 people who didn't see Infinity War and want to know what I'm referencing.
Right. About Miss May.
Oh, oh, her? Sir, not to boast, but I knew the moment I saw her. She'd do it, I said.
Do what? I'm starting to think the most suspicious person here is this guy! The man with Miss May. I wanted to ask you about the man who was with Miss May.
Ah, yes. He struck me as a real lady killer, if you'll pardon the expression.
Ah! His death
I knew it
happened.
from the Knowing things from the moment I see them has been in the Bellboy family line for generations.
Did you read that?
Aren't you familiar with the phrase, don't read a book, or don't judge a book by its cover? And Bellboy's like, well, why wouldn't you judge a book by its cover? I think that having a nice cover should having a good cover should determine the perceived quality of your book. It's entirely what covers are for.
I will say, as someone who is not of a creative mind, that I can understand being good at writing stuff. Well, I can't understand being good at writing stuff because I'm not, but I can understand if you're good at that part, but like not the part where you have to make art for it.
Well, yeah, hold on. I gotta mention this because I learned this recently. Well, I asked way back when I was in like elementary school, we had an author show up, and I asked them about this, and I sort of like relearned it from another author, Brandon Sanderson, when I was listening to his lectures with the same answer, where authors don't get to choose their covers, or most of the time.
Really?
Like, as opposed to like, you know, if you're like an indie dev for a video game, you make the whole game, and you make the sprites, and you make the art, and then like you also make like the box art or whatever. And if it doesn't have box art, then guess what? It's not gonna have box art. If you don't have a signature, if you're like Toby Fox and you don't have like a signature, they'll just put up the icon you use on Steam, and that's your signature. Like,
That is
just work with whatever.
That is your signature.
Which is hilarious. But with books, because of the publishing process, if you're publishing with a publisher and you're not like self-published or whatever, they'll like sort of just assign you a like a cover artist. The thing is like I only noticed this once. I remember seeing this as a kid because I read the first like chapter and I was like, hey, wait a minute. The sword on this cover isn't the sword in this book. They described it wrong. Like it's a little different. Like, oh, it's like the wrong color. It's the right shape with the wrong color, that sort of thing.
Well,
so
that
I knew like that. I knew it was the item they were trying to go for, but it was just like wrong. And I was like, wait, so the person who does the cover for the book doesn't necessarily read the whole book? That messed me up because I was thinking like I feel like the book cover, the system for book covers is so wacky where it's like with my I don't know, my modern brain, I'm like, if I was an author, I would and I was still like publishing with a publishing company, I'd go to the publishing company and be like, hey, I've got a few ideas for the cover. I will go and I will commission the art myself. Like, here's my pitch or whatever, and they'll make it really nice, and it'll reflect the tone and content of the book. It won't have a dragon that's the wrong color on it or whatever.
Well, that kind of further drives home that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover then, because then you're judging some other person's choice of what to put on it by a completely different person's ability to write. So if the art person doesn't reflect that, that's not the author's fault. Which only further drives home the notion that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Because
you are correct. My bit with the bellboy was gonna go like sideways and be like, I think all books should be judged by their cover. I think that covers should have to convince you to read the book.
You know?
Which, like, I feel like technically they should, like, the cover on a book should be spicy enough to make you pick it up and look at the like description on the back or whatever. Like that's what they really need to do.
Yeah.
But I would love if like book covers were like good comic book covers. Like not in comic book covers in general, but like good comic book covers where there's the cover is like something really dramatic that affects like the whole book. And you're like, oh, this is cool. This immediately tells me something. And then that's what like hooks you before you even like read the back of the book.
Right.
But like that's a whole like art form that is.
Dude, we gotta get back to the game. We keep going off on tangents. But yes, comic book covers.
I knew it
should
from the
be good.
moment I saw him, sir. So, oh, I forgot to add the bridge. I knew it from the moment I saw him, sir. He and I are of the same ilk. We both carry the scent of danger. It's Danger number 12 by Calvin Klein.
You know, I would say you don't look dangerous, but then that's what would make you dangerous. If you were dangerous and didn't look dangerous, that makes you even more dangerous.
Side note, don't let me go any further than a couple sentences, but that's my favorite thing. I mean, people in Oblivion are kind of blobby anyway, but that's my favorite thing about Lucien Lachance is that he's like this. There's supposed to be this like super deadly assassin, but he's just like he doesn't have a cool character design. He's just some guy, and there's something kind of beautiful about that. Yeah,
I haven't played Oblivion. I have it, but my only exposure to Lucien Lachance has been in the form of his summoning in Skyrim.
Yeah,
which I dig. I like Lucien.
Oblivion spoilers. I guess he died between.
Yeah. At some point he died, I guess. Go figure.
Oh, there's a joke. There's a joke for you. When you see a ghost and it's like, oh, spoilers. This character must have died in a previous game.
You're like, oh, I haven't played the last game.
What do you mean? What do you mean Hamilton dies in Hamilton? No, I didn't learn this in history class. It wasn't that granular. Yes, I know he was a founding father, and somehow we didn't learn that much about.
Yeah. You know, a book I never read in high school, or like at all during my education, was Moby Dick.
I don't think I ever read Moby Dick. I know that its central theme is like obsession. Like because the captain is obsessed with killing Moby Dick.
It would be.
I mean, heck, it spawned the, as far as I know, it coined the concept of like a white whale. Where before Moby Dick saying like, oh yeah, that's my biggest goal in life. That's my white whale. They'd be like, what the heck is a white whale?
Yeah.
Like,
that is my Everest or whatever.
I wonder if the phrase was probably really popular right after the book came out in like, I don't know, what is it, 1880 or whatever, where like everyone was reading that and they're like, this is my new ambition. It's my white whale. You see from the book that came out recently.
Yeah.
Everyone's reading it.
Yeah.
Literary fans on YouTube can let me know how popular Moby Dick was. Was it one of those books that was like a huge bestseller, or was it like a classic, but it like kind of like simmered in the background?
I don't know. There we are in total agreement, Mr. Psycho Bellboy. Mr. Psycho Bellboy. Maybe he is Bates. He's got that Norman Bates thing going on.
If you had a photo of that man, I'm quite sure I could identify him.
A photo?
Did he have a signature hairstyle, or wear only specific colors?
Like, did he have weird highlights, or like a tray of tea constantly stuck to his hand? Maybe like a weird tie thing that's not a tie thing. I think it's like an ascot. I don't know what an ascot is.
Yeah, I just realized. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is.
I know it's a necktie of some kind. Okay, necktie necktie special fashion studiers, fashion majors on the YouTubes. Could you please tell us what is on Bellboy's neck?
Fashion peeps, what the fuck is this thing?
I didn't go into fashion. I went into game design a couple semesters and then I dropped out. So I did not learn about ascots or. Absolutely. And on that subject, I have an excellent idea, sir.
I took like a year of art and a year of English in college. And then I tried to do a math course, and that was when I dropped out of college.
I want to go back to college, but the thing that I should have realized way earlier on is that, like, college, unlike high school, where, like, if you're like me, you kind of like got all burnt out and didn't like, you know, learn enough study skills or whatever. So like I really struggled with like high school at the very end. And so I should have been like, yeah, I'm going to college. And instead of being like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and get like a 4-year degree in a really expensive like art college or whatever. I mean, I also took a few classes in community college, but I should have just been like, yeah, I'm going to community college. I'm getting, I'm going to look up what kind of credits I need for like a degree or whatever, but I'm going to do it slowly because I would rather be going to college for 8 years and learning something every day than going to college like for an indeterminate amount of time because I fail my classes because I have too many.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta pass 2 classes.
You need to get. I need to get my education in smaller bites. I can't do this whole I can't do this whole like 4 classes a year like all you neurotypical people. That's just. It doesn't work.
And that's what messes me up is that like college lets you do that. And yet, like I feel like on a societal level, we just assume that you should be taking you should be speed running college with your majors and stuff.
Well, yeah, because that's how school is up until that point. Because school from like the time you're a kid is always like 6 periods or whatever, 7 periods or however many.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the big thing they need to tell you about college instead of being like, you know. This is instead of being like instead of just covering like, you know, here's scholarships and here's like your whole big future thing, they should be like 2 things. 1, community college is great because it's super cheap, and it's something that'll be important in the future. 2, you don't have to take a full workload. You don't even have to be working towards a degree. You can go to community college just to better yourself in a specific thing.
Yeah.
Like legit, like the most legit. I have a little bro, and the most like legit and like big brain he's like been in his whole life was when he was taking like a philosophy class at college, and like he like went from just like high school goof to like he just suddenly like saw the clockwork of the universe and was like, oh, I just realized how much like violence I've been putting out into the world, and how I can respect people more. Like he just like was like the most legit, and I think everyone deserves that. I mean,
yeah.
We need more philosophy professors, but yeah, I feel like everyone deserves just go and like just take a class, you know, learn something that you really want to learn.
Yeah. Your line.
Oh, I thought I read that one. Absolutely. And on that subject, I have an excellent idea, sir. Fire! Burn people!
Burn it down! Burn it to the ground.
Currently, this hotel is known as the Gatewater, but we could change it to the Murder Water.
We could change it to the Spy Check, and you'll use fire to spy check.
Lee Jack played Team Fortress 2 recently.
I played it after you.
And it was super fun. And
yeah.
I was like, did you do spy checks? And he's like, what's a spy check? And I was like, no one told him about the spy check.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I have been hurting my teammates, but not intentionally. It's been total accident, and I didn't know that I could just do that and go spy check.
Well, that's the thing. For the super short version, for those at home and haven't played Team Fortress 2, which I'm pretty sure anyone can play it because it comes free with Steam. It's literally it came free with your Steam joke.
Yeah.
No, in Team Fortress 2, there's no friendly fire damage, as far as I know. Like, if you shoot your people on your team, it doesn't do anything. However, there is a class called the Spy that can change his appearance to look like a member of your team. And when he looks like a member of your team, he is not immune to your damage. So, as any class, but especially the Pyro, because you have basically a cone of damage, not only do you is it excellent for spy checking because it's kind of a cone, but it's also great for spy checking because if someone catches on fire, you know they're not your friend. Like, it's very obvious to you, and like any of your teammates, they'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute!
Hey, wait, that dude's on fire! Get him!"
Yeah, that guy's flammable. How dare you? And that, yeah, that's how you know that that's what a spy check is.
It's fucking
There
awesome.
used to be like memes about it where there's just like a bunch of just all pyro team going around. Not all pyro team, but like a couple pyros on a team, just going around their whole team, not capturing points, not deflecting rockets, just going around like blasting their teammates, going spy check, spy check, spy check, spy check, checking for spies. I propose that we add a subtitle: H-Water Hotel 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. It was the most electric of boogaloos. A subtitle?
The Gatewater Hotel, Murder Manor.
Dude, have you been watching American Horror Story?
I've been watching Japan American Horror Story.
Japan American Horror Story. That murder house
Developed
really...
in San Francisco.
That murder house
And,
really living in my brain rent free.
It was made in the Shibollywood district. No, Shibuya.
Shibuya.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hey, wait a minute. You mix Hollywood with Shibuya. Yeah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, yeah.
Well, what do you think?
I think you're nuts. Sounds great. Whatever floats your tea set.
I love that one note in Doom Patrol where Cyborg, for a very short amount of time, has his like social media, or he's got it's not Tinder, but it's like a Tinder analog. He's got like a dating app, and he's like meeting people, but like everyone knows him as Cyborg instead of like him as like a guy, as a person.
Yeah.
But like one of them goes, "Hey, can you say booyah?"
Yeah, it's very
And he's
upsetting to me that Cyborg doesn't say booyah as often as he
doesn't
should.
say booyah.
Not just in
appreciate
Doom
that the
Patrol,
show
but I
knows.
feel like that doesn't happen as often as it used to, like, most of the time he's around anymore.
I
And
appreciate that the show
it's a
knows
bummer.
that he might say booyah, but also it's really funny that he's like, Grid, how often do I say booyah? Because he's like, I don't say booyah, and the guy's like, yeah, I thought it was like your catchphrase. And he's like, Grid, how many times have I said booyah? And it's like, you've said booyah 81 times, just within the margin of being a catchphrase.
You've said
He
it
never says
just...
booyah in the whole 3 seasons.
No! He
I don't
never
think he
says it!
at all.
When
It's like
does he
he's
say it?
anti-booyah.
This show is anti-booyah.
I wonder, there's got to be like some kind of like big like cork board when they're writing up the scripts, and it's like fundamental rules, you know, like you can't fundamental rules of the show, like you can't use magic on mental health problems or whatever, like this like fundamentals that keep the show like tight, and one of them is just like Cyborg can't say booyah, and then there's like in like 4-point font is like an entire like thesis on like a note card about like why he can't. I need to know why.
We should end
say
this
booyah,
episode
please.
here because I need to.
It's getting so late. See, if I would, this is why we need a podcast, because when people make podcasts, they get to like title the episodes with like funny names. It'll be in the episode 64. When the going gets tough, I make a waffle. Like it'll be whatever their joke is in the first like, you know, half hour or whatever.
Right.
And I love that, and I've always wanted to do that, where it would just be like episode whatever of Phoenix Wright, let Cyborg say booyah.
Let Cyborg say booyah.
Or give it a clickbait title that's just why Cyborg can't say booyah. Got white text and red text.
Alright. Well, we gotta go.
It's been fun, everyone.
It has
We will
been.
catch you. What day do we normally record Phoenix, right?
Mondays.
You think it Monday? Phoenix, yeah, some of them rhymed, but this one doesn't. What was it? Phoenix, right? It was
Phoenix Strike.
Attorney Monday.
Attorney Mondays.
Yeah, it does. It didn't have an alliteration to it. I'm sorry,
No.
but yeah, Phoenix Wright on Mondays. We will see you next Monday with Phoenix Wright, and we will figure out who the mystery gentleman is because it all comes down to mystery gentleman.
And tomorrow we will
It's
stream
not a red
a different
herring.
game.
It's not like when the pants are too long and you're like, okay, well, what's up with that? It's not like the glass shards. It's
Look.
a real clue.
Look, if the pants don't fit, you must quit.
Must have quit.
His pants are way too long.
Whose pants are those? We don't know. We'll never know.
No one knows.
So I'm Taylor, that's Lujack, and I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome,
Have a beautiful day.
and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bum, 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 bum.